Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery with IIMFL Smart Money Alliance. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, February 2nd, 2021 at 7:59 a.m. Central. We get together most weekdays at this time with our distribution partners to talk strategies, tips, techniques, offer updates, share success stories, and such. As you probably know, we have three different types of distribution partners. First of all, we have affiliates. It's free and easy to be an affiliate. Who wouldn't want to be an affiliate? Get paid to be able to help others. The affiliate program is not network marketing. It is not MLM, but it does have overrides. And so for free, you can become an affiliate. You can spread the word and generate sub-affiliate relationships and get overrides from their production. Secondly, we have our credit literacy educators. These are our experts that are educating, as you would expect, on credit. And with that, then we're helping individuals improve their personal credit scores by an average of 100 points within 30 to 60 days with no upfront cost. With so many Americans having challenged credit, and this being a unique proposition called Credit Boost, where there's no upfront cost, they only pay based upon results, it is outstanding. Seen tremendous growth. We just hired a new manager for the Credit Boost program. She has been hired. However, she's still being trained and onboarded. And so she'll be running the Credit Boost program fully later this month. Thirdly, we have at the top of the hierarchy our joint venture incubator partners. We're in the process of opening up 100 physical offices across the country. This is an initiative that we started last year, but it quickly paused with the pandemic. The goal is in 100 communities by the end of 2021 to have true physical offices. Think of Edward Jones, H&R Block, State Farm, that type of footprint. It only costs $250 to get started as a joint venture incubator partner. We provide $25,000 of working capital for them to get their office set up, and we do a 50-50 revenue split. So we have a lot of people interested, and that's exciting to see that physical footprint grow across the country. We also have a new collections manager. He is starting on Friday, and he'll be responsible for, as the title denotes, collections. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get to our topic of the day. And our topic today is on business credit. So we have a renewed focus starting this month, February, in helping our clients build their business credit profile. It's included in the Access to Capital program. It's not an additional agreement, not an additional cost. It's part of that value proposition. We're just going to have more of a renewed focus on helping clients build out their business credit profile. And we'll talk about that over the next few minutes and, of course, answer your questions. So this is something that we'll be working with them on once they have paid their refundable deposit. So let's step back. About a week or so ago, we started talking about FTF, first tranche financing. Our goal now is to get 100% of our clients their first round of funding in the first 30 days that they're with us, specifically between weeks 2 and 3. Now, again, that's a new process, and so clients that have been with us longer, we need to backfill them in, but that's fine. So we have 100% approval now on first round funding to allow clients to get some initial working capital and cover their refundable deposit. Well, you care about them covering their refundable deposit because that generates $1,250 that's coming to you. So for example, Randall, who is not on the call right now, he'll probably listen to the recording. Randall referred in a client. His client's name is Johnny, and Johnny just got, I think it's $15,000. I believe it was funded yesterday, if I recall correctly, Monday, February 1st. And so then Johnny will be paying in his refundable deposit, which is $2,500, and that's agreed to in the Access to Capital program. And Randall will be sitting pretty on $1,250 via wire he'll be getting that tomorrow if all follows through plan. So the bottom line is the Access to Capital program incorporates the building of business credit. And that is, you could argue, is it a $1,000 value? Is it a $2,500 value? Is it a $5,000 value? Regardless of what you want to consider the reference point, it's valuable. And again, we're going to help clients build out their business credit profile at no additional fee, part of the Access to Capital program, once they've paid their refundable deposit. And again, we don't have to worry about them being able to pay for it now, regardless of credit. We got 100% approval on FTF. Okay, so business credit, high level overview. Why is it relevant? Well, it allows for a business to get credit off of the EIN that's not linked to the social security number of the owner or owners. That's why it's called business credit instead of personal credit. How much can you get? There's hardly any limit. Business credit grows quicker than personal credit, and it can grow bigger. So it's quicker and bigger than personal credit. We know, and we've talked about, we buy our company vehicles here under the EIN. So that way it falls under the business, not on personal credit. What is included in the business credit? And again, this is not a change. We're not changing anything. We're just putting more emphasis on this. And it's already by default built into the client's Access to Capital agreement, and you're paid on it as well, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Barry's asking about the performance fee or the success fee. And so yes, the 6% success fee or performance fee, we use those terms interchangeably, is from all rounds of capital, including business credit, which we're going to talk about here in a couple minutes, and also off of the FTF, Barry. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's get back here on track. So what is included? We're going to help them set up their business to meet lender and credibility issuer standards so they can start to get automated approvals. We're going to help them set up and activate their credit profile, for instance, getting their DUNS number and getting their Duns and Bradstreet set up. So they have, we want to build a good PAYDEX score. Business credit is different than personal credit. Obviously, it's based on the EIN. It has a different scoring system. It goes from 1 to 100. We really want to get them to at least an 80. And so we want them to have at least an 80 PAYDEX score, which is what it's called through Dun & Bradstreet, at least an 80 IntelliScore, which is through Experian Business, and so forth. So great value. And again, this isn't a change, it's just a renewed focus. And the trigger for us helping clients with this is once they've paid their refundable deposit, because that is a nice carrot and it's getting money into your hands more quickly. Okay, so who should worry about building business credit? Number one, if they want to separate their personal and business finances, and pretty much any CPA, probably any attorney, any banker, I think just about anyone you talk to that's knowledgeable would say that is a good thing to do. So just like we need to have a separate business banking account from a personal banking account, just like we have business tax returns that's different than our personal tax returns, we also should have business credit that's different than our personal credit. This is especially valuable for small business owners that don't have really good personal credit scores, because that may be a barrier for them accessing personal credit, but their personal credit doesn't have to impact their access to business credit. As I alluded to before, business credit builds faster than personal credit, and it can build larger. You can get more business credit than you can personal credit, because businesses have a greater borrowing capacity. Number three, this is important for small business owners that's wanting to have a stronger value of their business itself. And so it makes it look stronger, of course, to lenders or issuers of credit, but also if they're looking to bring on investors, that makes their business look more credible, more reputable, more stable. if they're looking to maybe sell their business as part of an exit strategy. And then also, oftentimes when you pursue government contracts or even some larger contracts like with Amazon and Walmart, it is not unusual for them to look at the credibility of the business. And one element of that is the business credit scores. So I kind of combine those two there. And we can build business credit on for-profits and or nonprofits. So I would argue, and this is what I taught when I was a professor and also what we taught when I taught seminars through the SBA, every small business owner should care about their business credit. It is relevant. Maybe it's not on the top of their radar, but it's relevant, and they should care about that because business credit is publicly available. And so you can check the business credit scores of any business anywhere across the country, as well as your own without permission. See, for personal credit, you need to have permission to view someone else's personal credit score. But business credit is publicly visible. Furthermore, business credit scores start as a failing score. And so if you do nothing, just put your head in the ostrich with the head in the sand and say, oh, I don't care about business credit. Well, other people may. Your clients, your prospective clients, your competitors could all be viewing your business credit profile and then making decisions if you're a credible business or not, if they want to do business with you, continue to do business with you, or of course, in the case of competitors. So I think building business credit and having a credible business credit profile is important for every small business, even though many of them are not necessarily thinking about that. That's why we're educators, right? Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, we'll even highlight this. You get paid off of the results of us helping clients build business credit. It falls under the access to capital. It falls under that $100,000 guarantee. They get charged the same performance fees. You're paid, right? You're paid 3% of the business capital raise if you're one of our joint venture partners. So we'll talk about what that could mean in just a second on the next bullet. Got a couple of questions here I want to check with you here. So I've got a couple of questions about checking business credit scores. Schedule, if you're in the Access to Capital program, schedule a mentoring call and we'll help you check your business credit scores. Business credit scores are separate from personal credit. That's a different question that someone asked. And now there's a question about how soon, and we're going to talk about that on my next bullet, Dion. So I'm going to table your question. All right, so let's scroll on down here. We like to say that there are two primary models, and this is so important, I'll go ahead and bold it. There's two primary models of building business credit. You don't need to be out pitching, oh, do you want to do organic or fast track? We need to look at the client's circumstances and decide what they would qualify for, and then we'll help them accordingly. However, again, we're going to have a greater concentrated effort. We did have a business credit manager that was full-time, and she relocated out of state because of her family. And so now we have a new business credit manager that will be really digging in and working with clients. So the point is, if they're in the Access to Capital program, once they have paid their refundable deposit, which we can fund through FTF 100% of the time now, we didn't always have that arrow in our quiver, then we'll work with them on one of these two. And let's even change this to make it even more accurate. So we're going to make this numbered because it's one or the other. We normally wouldn't do, why that became 13, I don't know. So set numbering value, and we're going to make it 2. There we go. So it's one or the other, one of two models. So let's talk about each. Organic is where we will, organic means step-by-step normal process. And so normally, and this was Dion's question, we'll normally get the first $5,000 to $10,000 of business credit under the EIN with no personal guarantee, no use of social security number within the first 30 days. So that's great for the client. Let's say it's 10,000 just because it's simpler math. You're making Dion as a branch manager, joint venture incubator partner, 3%. So if you get 3% of $10,000, you're making a quick, what, $300. Not a big deal, but we should be helping one client a day, 30 a month. So if this is an extra $300 a day, essentially from each client, 30 in a month, that's an extra $9,000 in your pocket per month without doing any extra work on your part. We're handling this. And so that's a big deal there. Okay, so that's organic. The alternative, which is number 2, is fast track. Fast track is we skip the basics. We normally would skip the net 30s and those basic trade lines and go right into business credit cards. So these are unsecured business credit cards under the EIN, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, so forth, that you can go pull cash off of or take cash advances or pay your bills or use however you want. So it's normal business credit cards, no asterisk by those. How much fast track business credit? This really got tight in 2020, where we were averaging 75 to 125,000 before the pandemic. Issuers of credit got tighter last year, and thank goodness now it's opening back up. So the normal range will be 25,000 to 125,000 within that same first 30-day period. So obviously fast track is going to allow for a much larger capital raise than would organic. What's nice about these business credit cards is, in my mind, a business credit card is almost equivalent to a line of credit. You're approved, it's there to use it when you want to. If you don't use it, you don't have any interest cost. And typically, we're in a very low interest rate environment. Often this is 0% interest. Who can beat that? I mean, there is no lower cost of capital than 0%. So let me recap and then let's get to the questions that you have. So big picture, we're talking about another selling point of access to capital. This is not a standalone program. This is not something different that you need to do. This is not something different that the client signs up for. No. This is just simply part of us providing access to capital for small businesses that are enrolled in the Access to Capital program, which has what? No upfront cost, right? We can cast a very wide net together because there is no upfront cost for the Access to Capital program. It's valuable if they went out on the streets, let's say they went to a company like Credit Suite, great company out of Florida, Credit Suite. You would pay $2,500 to $5,000 typically to get the equivalent of what we're doing here with no upfront cost. So it's needed, it's relevant, it's valuable, and we've talked about a lot of the other benefits. You get paid, again, off of this capital raise, just like if it were any other type of capital. There's 2 ways that we can build business credit. We'll work with the client to decide what is best for them and their circumstances. You don't need to be pitching that. Now, if you want to just educate them a bit about this, that's fine, but it's not your burden to send John Smith over and say, okay, he wants to do an organic build. Or no, Betty White, she wants to do fast track. It's organically addressed through the program. We will start working with clients on their business credit build once they've paid their refundable deposit. And that's important because that puts $1,250 in your pocket because you get half of the refundable deposit. So we're not going to help them build their business credit until they've submitted their refundable deposit. But now through FTF, we have 100% approval for that. Okay, so let's get to your questions. So yes, Billy, so And you're right, I should have stated it differently. So this is available to the Access to Capital clients. This is available to the incubator clients. This is available to the Capital Ready 3.0 clients. Any of those capital raise programs or variations we have, this is relevant, including you, Billy, as a client of the incubator. So the answer is yes, sir. All right, and then we've got a question. Well, so it looks like Kwong has a business credit card already, which is great. So if you want more business credit cards then, or more business credit, then certainly you can get involved with this process just like any client could. Okay, Michael asks, can the value change when applying for the FTF? And what should we do when we get multiple offers? Okay, great. And so when we go to the first tranche of financing, now as a matter of process, our goal is to do that during our week 2 mentoring call, because at that point, we've done the soft credit pull and we've done the personal financial statement. So we have a good understanding of where they're at as a baseline. So we can point them towards the right source of FTF, because there's different places we can get the first tranche of funding from. And so it's not unusual, Michael, just like you said, to get multiple funding offers. I know when I went through it just to test the system out before we publicly launched this new FTF program, and I don't have great credit, I've got fine credit, but I got 24 funding offers myself. And Michael, you went through it, and I don't remember how many you had, but essentially you get multiple funding offers in most cases. And so then you can decide which one you want. Normally with FTF, it is just a 90-day strategy. It's kind of like bridge financing between now and before we get the loan package completed and the full business funding. So while the interest rates could vary from low, medium, high, it doesn't matter all that much because it's designed to be a short-term play. And even if the interest rate's a little bit higher over a 90-day period, that's largely irrelevant. It's all about what we do with those funds to be able to recognize benefit from it. So Michael's question is, he got a bunch of different offers, just like I did, and probably like most of you will, for the FTF, which is great. We normally recommend select the largest offer. Select the largest offer because that's going to give you the greatest flexibility. It'll give you the most working capital, allow us to put the most money into your bank account to show an equity contribution. Because when the FTF funds, it's going into your personal account. So this is not the business funding after the loan package is completed. This is FTF, so it's going to be going into your personal account, and that's the way that you want it to, because that way then when you transfer money, if you choose to, from your personal account into your business account, that tracks as an equity injection, and that looks better. And then secondly, it'll build your business bank balance. So like with Johnny, we were talking about earlier, Randall referred Johnny. Johnny got his first round of funding yesterday. So now Johnny has a low 5 bank rating, and low 5 is much stronger. When we apply for FTF, we're usually going to list other, and this is Michael's other part of the question. You'll list other as the use. When you're applying for FTF, if you list education or business as the specific purpose, it tends to get more scrutiny. So we would normally recommend to not list education or business as the use of funds. And you know, technically it's going into your personal account and you can use it for whatever you want. You could go buy appliances, you could use it for home remodeling, but other tends to be the preferred answer, not anything that is education or business related, just so you know. That's a tip there. So Michael, in your case, you'd want to accept that largest offer that you got, select other. That'll probably fund in 2 days. It'll probably fund on Thursday. We're recording this on Tuesday. So great job there. And we can visit individually, Michael, offline if you need more help with that. Okay, let's see here. Billy asks, if a client enrolls in the Access to Capital and an incubator at the same time, is that okay? Yeah, Yeah, that's fine. Because when someone enrolls in the incubator, what that means is they're wanting that broader foundation of support. They want us to pay for forming their business entity. They want us to provide them QuickBooks. They want us to provide them a business phone number and 411 listing. They want us to provide a website for them. And that's what the incubator does for small businesses. It provides that turnkey package. So that is fine. Billy. Yes, sir. Okay. And yes, Michael, I'll follow up with you afterwards. Desmond says he's going to get after it and get paid. Very good. All right. And so Desmond's asking a little bit about FICO and business credit scores. So a lot of people don't know what they don't know. And so I'll give you a little nugget of information. We've all heard the boring story. I worked for the SBA previously. To qualify for a normal SBA loan, you need to have a specific credit score. Do you know what that credit score is to qualify for a normal SBA loan? I'm going to ask you all to type it into the Q&A. What do you think your credit score needs to be to get approved for a normal SBA loan? I think it needs to be a 600, a 700. It needs to be a 165. 165. And you're like, what the hell is that? That doesn't make sense. Well, the SBA uses a different scoring model called SBSS, Small Business Scoring System. And so that is a combination of your business credit score, some other business credit variables, and to a lesser extent, personal credit. So building business credit is relevant for getting business loans in many cases. And a lot of people just don't realize that. Okay, so I think we covered a lot of information. I'm going to summarize one more time here, and then we'll move on. So business credit building is important and valuable, often misunderstood, typically underutilized. It is included at no additional cost for our clients that are in the Access to Capital program. This can be a nice selling point for you as you're trying to close people into the Access to Capital or even the Capital Ready Package 3.0 to say, hey, by the way, we're also going to help you build out your business credit. What we've covered here are some of the benefits and reasons of doing that. We've clarified in the highlighted yellow that this is money for you. It's not really a different source of money. It's just clarifying that as we help people build their business credit, then they're paying performance fees for that, of course, and then you're getting paid 3% of that. So it's not unreasonable that a typical client could have $100,000 of business credit, and that would be an extra $3,000 per client in your pocket. Again, if you'll drink the Kool-Aid with me and come into this with the mindset that there's tremendous need, that we each should be helping at least one client a day, 30 a month on average, an extra $3,000 per client over a month's period is an extra $90,000 in your freaking pocket. I'm telling you, it's almost like printing money. And what we're doing is credible, legitimate, and needed. But my goodness, I don't know that you're going to find many side gigs that can produce this type of adult income by us providing credible value to clients and not charging them up front. Okay, so with that being said, let's go execute. Let's go implement. Let's get at least one client in today, as well as each day. Even, Billy sent in, I don't know, probably 20 yesterday, I'm guessing, but probably 20. Great job, Billy. You're awesome. But let's not, and Billy's not getting fat and happy, but let's not get lackadaisical. Let's make sure we get at least one in today. Every day, let's get at least one new deal in, no matter how successful or how poor yesterday was. And so that way we can make sure that we're hitting at least our 30 a month, we're earning an adult income, and we're helping about 360 new clients at least per year. All right, thanks everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.